There's a new segment that I've made, and this playlist will keep getting fatter and fatter over time, where the playlist called the playlist I'm talking about is called Muhammad making up rules as he goes along. So I've got another such example for you. This is a uh, this is a verse from the Quran, Surah Baqarah, chapter two, verse number 184. So here it is basically telling you about the month of Ramadan and how you should fast, etc. But anyway, it's just before it was formalized. But so Allah says, which is actually Muhammad, it says, "For days few in number, however, should any of you be sick or on a journey, then he should fast," in bracket, "a number of other days equal to the missed ones." So if I'm traveling and I've missed 2 days while I'm traveling, then I will have to make up for those two fasts once the month of Ramadan is gone. Now here, this is the interesting part I want you to focus on. And it says, "And those who have the strength and they still do not opt for fasting." So there was a bit of a concession given to rich people. So those who have the strength, like I'm a fully, I'm a guy, I can do this. Sorry, I need to make this bigger. I'm a guy. I'm strong and I'm fully able. So I need to be, but I can't be bothered fasting. Then on them there is a fidya compensation, that is the feeding of a poor person. So I can just buy my way out of it by, okay, I'm not going to fast, but I'm just going to feed a poor person. By the way, this is one of the infamous verses where in another version of the Quran, the Warsh version, this one is um, the Hafs version. So in the other version called Warsh version, that one had poor people. So in plural, they use this different word there, masakin. Here it says miskin. So there's miskin is singular, masakin is plural. So that's just on a side note, fun fact. But anyway, so here it is. So Muhammad has given this discount to rich people that, okay, because at that point, he's a bit desperate. He's like, yeah, come to Allah. Okay, you need to fast, but if you can't fast, then you need to feed a poor person. Okay, everything's fine. But then this verse gets abrogated. And then this new verse comes, which is the very next verse. It says, "The month of Ramadan is the one in which the Quran was revealed as guidance for mankind and as clear signs that show the right way and distinguish between right and wrong. So those of you who witness the month must fast in it." So it's changed now. So you would wonder why that's changed, and obviously because people would have been like, I mean, if I can afford to feed a poor person, why would I be stupid enough to fast in the desert heat of Saudi Arabia? So this became such a bone of contention for a lot of people that there's even a discrepancy. Some people say it's not abrogated. Some people say it's abrogated. So let's start with the one that says it hasn't been abrogated. So this is Sahih Bukhari 4505, where Ibn Abbas says that this verse is not abrogated, but it is meant for old men and old women who have no strength to fast. So they should feed one poor person for each day of fasting. So obviously, I think Ibn Abbas is like, he liked the discount and he wanted to keep the discount going because the verse actually doesn't say anything. It clearly says those who have the strength. I've looked at various translations. Even in Urdu, it says, or jo iski taqat rakhte ho, meaning those who have the strength. They should just feed a poor person. And then obviously Ibn Umar, the son of Umar bin Khattab, he says they had a choice, either fast or feed a poor person for every day, and added, this verse is now abrogated. So this verse is actually abrogated. So obviously Muhammad would have been like, hang on a second, what's going on? These rich people are taking advantage of it, and I can't. Because any religion that you find, you always have to do one thing, and that is you have to create a strong ritualistic system. You need to pray, you need to go to a mosque or a church, you need to do some sort of rituals, which kind of builds this this community. And and obviously you try to bring as many people within the same close to each other as possible. That's what you try to do. That's why Muslims very proudly say that, oh, whether you're a caliph or a rich businessman or a poor person, you all stand together. So that's one of the strengths of Islam, and a lot of people actually boast about it, and that actually makes sense. A lot of people do it, which is, I mean, I don't know. I never understood why Muslims actually make that, why they boast about it, because even in temples, I don't think there's any distinction made. Even in these churches, there's no distinction made. I mean, you can just sit next to a rich person if you want to. Yes, a rich person would always have certain privileges, because if he's giving bigger donations, then obviously he's going to get special attention from the priest or the imam. So here, Muhammad saw an obvious loophole, and he thought, I think I should bring some sense of equality here. Let me take the special privilege away. But he was pretty keen, but he wasn't that quick in getting rid of these privileges. Remember that Quranic verse that says that, oh, Prophet Muhammad, you can marry as many women as you want, and that discount is specially for you. That privilege, that verse was never abrogated.
Yeah, funny how all of the verses that serve him directly personally are just never abrogated. They're there for life. Um, but yeah, it's interesting, obviously, the point that you said, obviously, about religions and requiring a strong sense of like ritualistic behavior to kind of cement the social cohesion, right? And fasting is not something new. We obviously see that Muhammad, the people would fast anyway. The Jews were fasting, the Zoroastrians were fasting. This is a concept that was not unknown to Muhammad, and it's not like that they didn't used to fast for a month before Islam. They used to do that anyway. Muhammad just kind of was adding his own little niches to it to make what we now think is Islam. But yeah, it's so interesting because obviously even when I was a believing Muslim, for all the things that we don't know about Islam, this is one of the loopholes that you always know. I mean, this is really bad, but I know some Muslim families who like actually travel during Ramadan because then that prescription applies. Like, oh, I'm traveling, I don't have to fast, and we just like you just keep traveling for the entirety of the month. And then the other loophole as well about feeding the poor. I mean, there are days when I guess obviously even them in the desert, Muhammad's companions, there were times when not everybody was on board for fasting for a month outright in the Arabian desert. But we have the same thing now trickling down in 2020. Even when I was a Muslim, it was long to fast Ramadan as a girl. You wait for that time when you get your period because you're let off for a week. So that's always good as well. So you've got a week of traveling, a week on my period, and then, oh, how do I get out the other two? Let me feed the poor. So yeah, this is one time that I actually need to concede and say this is actually for the discount that applied to rich people. I'm glad that Muhammad made a prescription as to feed the poor as opposed to like pay me some money and then come in for a special consultation or something. So yeah, at least this is the part where we see charity taking off. But again, yeah, mad confusion. Is it abrogated? Is it not abrogated? But as far as I know, most practicing Muslims really do believe that if you're unable to fast, you should effectively be feeding the poor.
Yeah, but mind you, so if you do fast, then that discount is no longer valid. It was abrogated, so you can't just get out of. You can't buy your way out of it. So
Damn
Nuria.
it.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone!